And how
What? I
how
started. I started.
okay, that's fine, but how do you manage to write
Hmm?
so neatly without lines? Like whenever I write on
Oh, I
lineless
gotta start over.
paper,
Hmm?
no, it's fine.
Okay.
Whenever I write on lineless paper, it's like all like veering off to the side and how do you do that?
I don't know. I can only do it when I'm not thinking about it, I guess. Because I was,
Really?
yeah, I don't
Okay.
know. Hey, hey, who's this talking?
This is Parapants.
And my name's Alvin, and we're talking about my apparently tidy notes, which are very, the lines are very parallel. What's the word? Yeah.
Yeah, they're just all in line.
I don't.
I'm impressed by that.
All right. Well, hey, we're doing this.
Line hero.
Flying Hero. This is the sixth episode of Shield Hero. I think we skipped one, but fuck it. The last one we did was five or four, maybe. I think it was
What
four.
was it for?
Yeah, yeah.
What was before the? Oh, he had that race, I think,
I think so. Yeah.
with the spear hero or lance hero,
Yeah, yeah.
with the his newly acquired choke. I mean,
Phililio.
Fililio, Fililio.
Yeah. I was a little. I don't know. I wasn't looking forward to a harem, but I think they're keeping the harem shit kind of low key, so it's all right. It's still a good show.
I don't think it's a full blown harem. He just acquired a little lolly chan.
He's gonna get like, I think according to the intro, he's gonna get like one or two more chicks.
No,
I think so.
where'd you see that?
In the intro.
You mean the?
I think. I'm
Hmm.
not sure.
Oh, I know it's because there's a dark haired girl who kind of looks like she's in a maid uniform. Like I think we saw those two female figures before. One looked like a queen, and the other looked like her assistant or something. Like her.
Uh, I guess. I don't know. I'm just half remembering the intro.
Yeah, I mean we saw them briefly. I think after he had that race with the Lance hero, and we're like, okay, here there are two more characters here, and one looks like a queen. But we haven't gotten back to them yet.
No, well, that's the queen looking chick is the one that sends her ninjas after Milty. So we know she's been established. I don't think she's gonna be in the harem.
Oh, okay. All right.
All right, all right. I got a buttload of notes, and it's gonna be a kind of a dry rereading of the show. But
Oh boy,
well,
can't
it's
wait.
good. This is my roadmap through the episode. But any overall feelings of this episode before we start?
Yeah, I guess I'm assuming that the novel handles the progression of the story differently, but I feel like the developments here are a bit rushed because Shield Hero does take um he does take a advantage of whatever opportunities come his way, but I feel like they're just so convenient. Like all these things just kind of fall into his lap,
Eh, you're
in,
right. Okay.
in order to like demonstrate his, I guess, his soft power.
Well, it's in order to fit it all in 23 minutes, really.
I guess.
Yeah, but yeah, he doesn't really have time to like poke around. I'm just mad that he's got like a shield full of shit and like he only uses one or two
I
things.
know. It's like the Pareto distribution model is like I'm pretty sure he's only using like 20% of all those things
I want
that
to see
he's
all those other
acquired.
shields.
I know. Like I was just thinking about that too. I'm like, does he ever come out of a hard fought battle and think to himself, "Oh yeah, I could have used this thing for my
Well,
shield."
there was the thing where he's like, I could have done the teleport, but that wasn't really a shield function. I think that was just like a character function. But all right. Well, this episode starts on a delicious anime sandwich. That was nice. But like the shield hero goes into the weapon shop with the raccoon chick and the bird chick who can turn into a little girl, and like the guy's like, hey man, don't come here to show off whenever you get a new slave.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, they briefly show the slave broker, and
Yeah, during a flashback where he's explaining what the what is her name?
well, her name is Philo, I
Phila?
guess.
Philo?
Yeah,
Yeah, okay.
Philo,
She's a
and
Philolio.
oh yeah, she's like a Philo queen, and like that species can transform into people, I guess.
Hmm.
Um, but I'm kind of wishing, I'm hoping that that slave broker like is more than what he appears. You
I don't
know,
think he will be.
you think he's a red herring?
I know. I just think he pokes in when necessary, like the other merchants in this show and characters.
No, he seems to be pretty important. He's the one that's like facilitating all these slaves,
Yeah,
these
maybe.
convenient lolly slaves to the shield.
I thought he was gonna make an offer on her, but then they never went that far. But yeah, so she could transform too. I mean, I was thinking the other day of like how like in fiction, non-fiction, yeah, like there's all these dragons that transform into humans, and like something about that just really just disappoints me. It's like all these monsters are just transforming into humans for like the sake of I don't know being able to put them in the same settings as the main characters.
For relatability. It's
Yeah.
like lazy relatability to the audience when you can just make them human at the drop of a hat. Which reminds me, what exactly makes Raphalia a raccoon girl besides her ears and tail? Does she transform into
A raccoon.
a full-fledged raccoon
It'd
at
be
all?
awesome if she did and like was just like digging through some trash.
Oh, that would be awesome. I want that
Like,
in
bitch, get out the trash.
She comes out with like some fish bone in her mouth.
Eh. No, well, you know how they do kimono over there. They like to go. They'll go like 10%. They'll just move it a little tiny bit. They're like, oh, not too much, not too much. Give her animal ears and a tail. We don't want to scare people off. But all right. So yeah.
Or attract the wrong people.
Now we're talking. You know what? It's gonna be a strong ass market when people finally catch on. Someone's gonna be like, yeah, you know.
Somebody's gonna go just full-fledged
Yep, anthropomorphic.
anthropomorphic with their character.
Yep, and the next Bill Gates. But,
It's like the maverick in anime. He's
yeah.
like, no animal ears. It's the full Monty.
Mm. All right. So they're there because this Philo.
Filolio?
Yeah, every time she transforms into a giant bird, she rips up her clothes. So he's like, "Hey, give me some of them magical transforming clothes." And he's like, "I don't sell that shit. I sell weapons and weapon accessories." You got to go to the tailor. He goes to the tailor.
I do think that
Mm.
Philo is rather adorable as a giant chicken.
Yeah, I know,
It's
I
cute.
know.
I like her better as a giant chicken.
Yeah, I could. I mean, she does. The good thing is she does like her main. I mean, because she's got to pull the cart and she's got to fight, so she spends most of her time, I think, as a giant chicken. That's where she's most useful. Like when she's a little girl, she's not really useful for much of anything. But thankfully, she's not spending most of her time as a little girl.
No, at least not yet.
Mm.
Until the story requires her to be a cute lolly,
Mm.
then yeah.
Well, if you got to do that to fucking get the nerds in there, then I guess that's the market. But all right, so oh yeah, during that flashback, he puts a slave crest on her. I'm like, why? Why did you do that?
Because I think otherwise,
She
you
might
know,
have freedom.
yeah, you can't let bitches be free in this anime. They'll accuse you of rape.
No, but like they hatched that egg. Like she was already kind of like um like not imprinted on with them.
Yeah, but I got the impression that that species can get a little unwieldy. So like because she ate that dude's entire sandwich with no hesitation.
Yeah, after but she had at that point she had a slave
Oh,
crest.
she did?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She got the slave crest during the flashback. That's why he was like, "Oh man, fucking locking this bitch up with a slave crest cost me more than I thought it would."
Yeah, well, I mean, maybe it's because she's like the queen of that species, so they're a little harder than to
She
control,
hasn't
which is interesting. Like she's a queen, so he has to control her. Wow, this show is like underhandedly misogynistic,
Well,
huh?
I don't. It just doesn't make sense to me. Like
I know.
I understand why he did it to the raccoon chick because he's like, I don't know you, you don't know me, but I got to make sure you do what I say. Maybe you know what? She did the raccoon chick when they were like, "Hey, you're finally free." She's like, "I needed that slave crest so he could like make me do shit that I didn't want to do." So maybe it's the same reasoning with the bird. I don't know.
Well, yeah, but in Raphtalia's case, she was heavily traumatized.
Yeah,
Um,
that chick was literally the bird was just born.
just hatched. I kind of don't get it, but I don't know. Maybe the light novel handles it differently.
Yeah, I'm sure there's probably a couple lines in there where it's like, "Oh, I better." Even though this seems wrong, I better put this freshly hatched chick, lock her up with slave magic because X. I don't know. All right, well that happened, but all right.
Mm.
So
And what does he even? Well, it's only episode what? Episode five, six.
six, yeah.
So I don't know. Like it's not like he gives her commands.
He kind
So
of directs. I mean, she still acts of her own free. She doesn't act like a slave, but I mean, I don't. All right, whatever. All right, so they go to the clothes person, and it's like, hey, make us that fucking transforming clothing, and she's like, I need magic thread. Do you have magic thread? And they're like, no, I don't have any fucking magic thread. So it's like, well, you go to the magic lady and get the magic thread, give it to me, I'll make you magic clothes. So they go to the magic lady, and she's like, I need a magic crystal to make the magic thread. And they're like, fuck. So
this is like a what? Arcanum quest.
what's
Or
that?
remember Arcanum, that steampunk?
Oh, that. Oh,
Yeah.
you played that.
Briefly. I didn't
Uh,
get very far in it though.
I beat that game, but I think I beat it with a glitch. But that was a good game.
That was a funny ass game. I missed that game.
Something like Steampunk and Magic's Obscura or something. I don't know.
Yeah, and for the three of you, two of whom are probably us that are listening to this, you probably won't remember
Yeah,
Arcanum.
that was like that was late '90s, early.
Yeah.
That was the aughts, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah. If you couldn't tell, we're a couple of Zoomers, so
No, Zoomers are young. Boomers are older.
we're not Boomers.
Oh God. All right. Well, never mind.
Okay, never mind. Now we're Boomers. Because
All right. So while they're there, the Philo. I wish I knew her real name. I'm gonna call her
it's
Philo.
Philo. That's what he
I'm gonna
named
call her
her.
Philo. Okay.
That-
She looks at the crystal ball and finds out that she's got wind magic affinity, which really
Which-
isn't that important. Go ahead.
Which doesn't like why does she need to look into the magic ball to find that she has a wind affinity? Wouldn't she just discover that on her own?
No, that's what the magic ball's for.
What?
Why do you think that chick has a magic ball? That's
Wait,
what the
but
magic
she
ball does.
Wait, hold on. So the magic ball gives you wind affinity?
No, but she didn't use wind magic until after she found out she had wind affinity. Unless she used it last episode, but I don't think she did.
So the crystal ball gives you your magic power.
Maybe it unlocks it.
Okay. All right. It was kind of glossed over, but okay.
Yeah. But or maybe I don't know. Maybe it's a thing that you try, but it's like you wouldn't think to try it
And
unless
like,
you knew.
and we see Raphthalia use some sort of like ninja skill, invisibility.
Yeah, that's later.
I
Go ahead.
Yeah, but has it been established before that she had magic ability?
They also have the spell book, and they've been looking through that. So
Oh, I totally forgot about that.
he can't read it. She can, I think. I think
Why
that's
doesn't
it.
she teach him how to
They
read?
don't have time. All right. So they're like walking and doing their trading thing. I mean, I know he got kind of hosed on the last deal where he was supposed to get 2,000 coins, but they only gave him 500. But why is he? I don't understand why he's spending all this time trading. It seems like a lot of level grinding time wasted.
He's got to. I
No,
mean,
no, he doesn't got to. He
What do
just
you
needs
mean?
enough money to eat and put a roof over his head.
does he though? I mean, he's got to buy upgraded weapons and armor.
I guess. It just feels like too much of a
Yeah,
departure.
like we're gonna skip a bunch of stuff, but he becomes like what, like a Uber Eats or a Postmates or whatever.
We're not skipping stuff. That's what
Yeah.
he's doing right at this point. Right
No,
after
I
the.
thought you were gonna talk about like where he gives the potion.
Right.
Like he gives, like he becomes like some sort of delivery service and enhances medicines for a fee.
Well, hold on. That is where we are, but let me get there. All right, so like he meets this guy on the road. But in the process of like delivering goods with his he's got his little merchant pass, and this guy on the road's like, oh, I need to get this medicine back to town. My mom's sick and I'm tired. And fucking Shield Hero's like, I'll do it for one shiny silver coin. Dude's like, dude, I'm broke. What the fuck? I spent all my money on this medicine. And he's like, well, you can give me the equivalent of a coin when we get there, whatever. And don't try to back out of it, damn it, because I've been wounded by people lying to me or something. But so he delivers the guy, and like he's like, hey guy, go in the other room and boil some water or some dumb shit. And like while the guy's gone, he uses his enhance medicine power on the medicine, makes it super strong.
Or maybe he actually just got down with that grandma.
Shut up.
Gave her some
No,
sexual healing.
no. God damn it. You leave that grandma
The
alone.
son came back. He's like, "What'd you do? My mother's never looked better."
No. Well, I hope you're proud of yourself. So I thought, I mean, that's pretty cool that he able to use that skill that he had from a couple episodes back, okay, so in exchange, he get like the guy's like, oh, thanks for healing my mom. Here's one silver coin worth of stuff, and he starts making a career of like healing people, enhancing medicine, healing people, and trading shit. So they call him our savior of the heavenly fowl, and it's like a they go through a trading montage, and I forgot to mention that as he is delivering the dude to his sick mom, like he tosses this guard's like, you gotta pay a toll to walk on this road, and he's like, here's my pass, bitch. So I guess that pass makes it so you don't have to pay tolls, which I guess is cool. But he just like tosses it to the dude, and it's like, I don't know why. I guess like why would you trust the dude to just give it back to you? I don't know.
There's another thing. There also seems to be like minor details to this story that seem rather superfluous.
Like what?
Well, like the merchant pass, unless it comes into greater relevancy
Well, it did.
later in the story. Well, like why? Why?
The
What's the
bur-
whole point?
I think actually they needed to show the toll road, the toll guy, so they could show that the merchant pass is useful. Who gave him that pass again? Do you remember?
The last village mayor for saving them.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, was it because of the race?
I don't think it was the race. I think it's the first village he saved.
Oh, okay.
No, but still, what difference does it make? I mean, like, why is the whole idea of a merchant pass even in this story?
Because he's becomes a merchant instead of grinding.
Like, but it would make no difference if he just went from town to town selling his wares or his services.
Nah, you're right. You're right. Well, I mean, like I said, they tried to use the toll to show why he needed the pass,
Yeah,
but
I understand,
you're
but
saying
why
that's not
have
enough.
uh, like why even have the toll there? Like why? I mean,
Well,
it's
why charge the legendary hero a toll?
exactly. I mean, that's what I'm saying.
All right.
Like then it doesn't make any sense, but I don't know. Maybe there's a reason for it.
Maybe. All right. I gotta go through these faster. Let me see. All right. So yeah, he's got a rich. He's delivering a bunch of stuff and a rich merchant who is like telling him, "Oh yeah, they're calling you the savior of the heavenly fowl," and then they get ambushed by some thieves, and they're like, "You can't fuck with us. We have a class upgraded mercenary with us to defend us. So give us all your shit, and we're gonna rape your raccoon." And the raccoon chick,
Said at many a furry conventions.
yeah, she uses her hide mirage attack, and the bird uses a wind attack, and they take out the thieves with like absolutely no problem.
Yeah, what was even the point of bringing up this high level, this skilled warrior?
It'll probably come up again. Class upgraded. But so they're like the bandits are all tied up, and they're like, yeah, another merchant said that the merchant you'll be carrying a merchant down this road, and that we should rob you, and it's like if you turn us into the police, we'll just say, oh, the shield hero attacked us, even though these guys look like fucking thugs, and it's like any police would know. It's like if these guys are bandits for a living, it's like the police probably know you're bandits. So the idea of like a group of bandits going to the police or the guard and saying the shield hero jumped us, it's like that's retarded. But whatever.
Well, I guess the whole country is primed to hate the shield hero.
I guess so.
So,
Even though
like,
even though he's now being called our savior of the heavenly fowl, there's a little inconsistency there. I mean, but shield heroes are like, okay, I'm just gonna feed you to my bird, and they're like, hey, please don't feed me to your bird, and it's like, okay, we'll spare your lives, but you gotta give me all your shit. And so they take the bandits back to their bandit camp and have them turn over all the shit that they stole from other people. And the merchant they're delivering is like really impressed. He's like, oh, but he's treating human lives like merchandise. That's amazing. He's like, say he's a shining example of the trader's spirit that is so rare nowadays.
Yeah, I don't know where this author is going with this. She she apparently is pro-slavery and pro-trading treating human life as commodities.
I don't know. She's just very very real, I guess. So like, so he turns to the rich merchant. He's like, "Well, this was a whole bunch of fucking trouble for like delivering one guy. So what are you gonna give me?" And the merchant's like, "I'm gonna take you under my wing, and I'm gonna give you knowledge and connections." And they actually say know-how. I don't know if they're using the English words know-how, but it sounds like it.
Yeah. Well, what it reduces down to is that this merchant teaches him how to craft gems.
Wait, you jump. All right, go ahead.
No, I'm not jumping ahead. He introduces him to other merchants. It's a montage.
Yeah.
He introduces him to other merchants. He teaches him how to craft gems, and he gives them a deed to a mine,
Yeah.
which seems to be a lot. Why is this guy giving? This is why I'm saying like this. These opportunities just
Hold
come
on.
way too easily.
When a motherfucker saves your life, you gotta be grateful.
Yeah, but this guy is also a merchant. You think he'd be a little, more greedier, I guess? Like, I would imagine a merchant is like, thanks for saving my life, dude.
No.
I'm going to teach you how to craft gems, and that's it.
Look, when you're at the top of your game, and you look at
I don't know if I give him the deed to my entire magic thread gem
no,
mine.
hold on. That mine had a monster in it, so maybe he's like, well, I can't use this fucking mine. Fuck it.
You think he was like, I was hoping the monster would kill you?
No, I think he's saying this mine really is. It's not like a mine that's making a lot of money.
Oh, maybe.
Because I mean,
Yeah, he did warn him that there was a monster in it.
but I think he was just really. He's like, I've been in the merchant game a long time, and like all these young bucks, they come up and they don't know what it's like. But you give me hope. You remind me why I went into this field. So yeah, and I can't take it with me. Maybe he's got no children. Maybe he's
You sure are assuming a lot.
Now I am assuming a lot.
That's a lot to assume about a character that's in one episode.
So what did he? Wait, hold on. What did he give him again? All right, he gave him connections, and plus he was really impressed. He's like, oh, this kid will be a big deal one day, and if I'm the one that brings him up, that'll help me.
He didn't say that.
I'm just going through what's probably going through his
God.
head. All right. So yeah, he takes him to shake hands with other merchants, and like Parapants said, he teaches him to imbue gems with mana. And the Shield Hero also mentions that he learns a few spells on the side. We don't know what those are. Motoyasu. Oh, and while they're doing that montage, they also like talk about what the other heroes are doing. Spear Hero is Motoyasu is he saved a famine-stricken village with a legendary crop. And Ren, the sword hero, is fighting epic monsters, possibly a dragon. And Itsuki, the bow hero,
Is just chilling.
No,
he's
no.
not doing anything. That's what I think. He's in a pub somewhere, just drinking beer and
That would
just
be funny. But according to the Shield Hero, he's getting all these stories like, oh, he's training in the mountains or he's diving into dungeons.
He's probably back at home.
Yeah. Or he's a resistance fighter for another country. I don't know. I mean, how much time do they get? Like 2 months? I mean, that's not a lot of time to just. I mean, I don't know.
I don't know. I think one of those heroes is up to no good, and I think Montayasu is I think he's kind of being set up too, like Shield Hero was.
Oh, you
He's
think?
being set up for something.
All right. So after the montage, they go to this mine. He's like, hey, this mine is mine. Yeah, because this guy gave it to me. And like the guy who running the mine, he's like, I'm surprised that cheap asshole gave you the whole mine.
Well, can we talk about the monster in the mine?
We can when we get to it.
Oh, all
Okay.
right. I don't. You.
There are monsters.
This other stuff like
It's
that's
important.
not
Look, this is a
important.
roadmap. People like you get lost.
Road.
There's bleached bones in the sun of tons of people like you that don't follow the map.
Can't you just hit the big notes?
No, this is not time.
time.
All right, they take the magic lady to the mine, and like they go in the mine and there's like a chest that's open and like an inscription, and like what does it say here? It's like the mine was actually no, they're not in the mine. They go to an evil alchemist's lair. That's where the gem is, because he goes to the mine guy, and the mine guy's like, all right, you own this mine. What do you want? And he's like, I want that gem that turns mana into thread. And I guess the only way you can get it is the alchemist's lair. So I guess he didn't need the mine at all. But
See, what's the connection between this lair and the mine?
he had to own the mine so he could ask the dude that works there where the gem is.
That's what I'm saying. Just like,
This is like an RPG Maker game or something. All right. So they go in the alchemist's lair, and there's an empty chest, and there's a little inscription that says, "We pray this seed never makes it out of here. It is a horribly twisted manifestation of our wish for nobody to starve," which I'm assuming ties into Motoyasu and his legendary crop that feeds a whole lot of people. But
so what do you think that could possibly mean? A twisted manifestation that nobody started? Does that mean that everybody gets super fat or what?
no, it's probably some monkey's paw shit where you wish for something with the best intentions, but it ends up fucking you in the
Well,
ass.
that's what I'm saying. Like,
No.
what do you think are the consequences of the wish? When I just go,
It could be anything.
look, you're making assumptions about this damn merchant.
Well,
So might as well
all right. So you grow.
speculate.
Everybody eats, but I don't know. It could fuck with the soil. It could fuck with their health. It could be harmless, but the fact that nobody has to work for food could affect the society. See, it could be so many things. Would you like to add to that?
Maybe they have to eat each other.
No, that's retarded. That's dumb.
Nobody starves then.
Oh god. Well, is that what you were waiting for me to say?
I don't know. I just wanted to speculate as to what it could possibly mean. But I do. That is interesting that it's tied to Monteyasu because he inherited a fiefdom or something, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, and I'm still in the dark as to what is her name Melty or mine?
I'm gonna call her Melty.
Why is she called Melty when
I don't know if that's her actual name.
it's mine, right?
Could be.
Oh God, I'm still in the dark as to.
They don't call her by her name. He just says that evil bitch.
Ah.
Says like Kusobichi or some shit like that.
So bitchy.
Yeah, I remember he said that. Yeah.
That bitch. That's awesome. I'm still in the dark as to what her goal is, or is she the evil one? Is she evil?
I wish I could. I wish I still approach stories like that, where I'm just like, what could it mean? I'm like, well,
You can if you stop being such a salty, edgy ass incel. You could.
You know what it is? I approach the story. I'm like, well, this better not suck. There. And when they finally reveal it, I'm like, oh,
Being
that's not
a
bad.
bitter asshole man,
Yeah.
you can.
All right. So they're in the evil alchemist lair, and they're walking, and they get attacked by these shit-talking bats.
Yeah, that
Who are
mimic their voices and.
Well, they trap them in some kind of miasma, and they're like, they tell you the thing from a person that you would least want to hear, which is, it's kind of it's a real dick move. Like if you can make it so people can't move or can't see, but I guess it really fucks with people. So it's like, you're with your boy, and like, he's like, I don't really like hanging out with this guy, and it's like, what the fuck?
Or, you could hear, man, if only he would let me sleep with him.
Ugh. Like, what the hell, bro? And then bats just eat him. But they defeat the shit-talking bats with fast anti-bind.
See, like they didn't hang with that long enough.
Well, that's because they had to get to the Nue. They only have 23 minutes. You realize this guy's he's been to 3 stores, opened up his own damn business, impressed a merchant, went to his mine. All this, he's just packing shit in.
On all to get clothes for this
Yeah.
giant chicken.
That's actually, I mean, I can kind of appreciate how it all came together, but it also kind of like, really? That's what this was all for? Like, well, we're jumping ahead. In the end, it's like to get clothes for the giant chick. All right, so they defeat the
Nue?
nope, the bats.
Oh, the bats. Yeah.
With fast anti-bind and a
he
wind
feeds
attack.
the bats into his shield.
Oh yeah, he does feed the bat in his shield. He gets the voice Gengar shield. I don't know what the fuck Gengar means, but he's like, oh, I wonder if this will come in handy. And immediately does. But so they go deeper in the mine, and there's something called a Nue. It's a lion. It's an asshole lion with daredevil hearing and a snake for a tail. And fucking shield hero's like, okay, we need a plan. And the raccoon chick and the bird just rush in, to try and fuck it up, but they can't do it. And the raccoon chick tries her invisibility, but since this thing has super hearing, it hears her and it fucks her up. And of course, the shield hero's like, hearing? I wonder. And he makes his brand new bat shield, and he has his bird scream into it and blow. They blow the thing's fucking eardrums out, so that blood shoots out of its ears. And then the raccoon bitch runs up to it and fucking stabs it. The magic chick hits it with a fireball, and then the bird hits it in the skull
Yeah,
so
I
hard
know. I
that
was waiting for that thing to say like, okay, I get it.
like they go to an X-ray of the skull and it just fucking crumbles. I'm like, God damn.
You know
This
what?
the snake part should have been like, damn.
You know what though? They missed out on a scene of the Shield hero feeding that giant Nue
Oh yeah.
into. I was expecting him to just like push that giant monster into the shield and just like it won't fit, and so he has to jump on top of the monster and just kind of pound it in.
Yeah, I would like more game stuff like that. But all right, so they're in this cavern full of crystals that are apparently very valuable and very hard to get, very high in demand. And it looks like they only take one. They only take the one that they need.
But
Hopefully,
don't they own the whole thing or no?
yeah. But I mean, I would like to see just like barrels of those
Just
crystals in the
barrels of
background.
crystals.
He's like,
Where
oh
are they
yeah,
gonna put it? He doesn't have
he's
a
got
hide.
a cart. Oh, hideout. Well, he's a merchant now. He's got to have a storage place.
But they never show it.
I don't know. He should have one though.
I mean, like if he's got all those crystals, I guess he could sell them for a good price because they're rare apparently.
Oh, or he could ruin the crystal market and go bankrupt. So
Yeah. Apparently they're rare. He can make a lot of money. He could just like get them a house because I think they're just going from what tavern to tavern, renting
Pick
out a room or something.
yeah, I think so. Or he could just get one and make a little angel dress for his magic bird. I forgot to mention after they defeat the Nue, like he chastises the raccoon chick. He's like, "Don't rush into there. What if you got a scar that left a mark?" And it's like,
That wouldn't be hot.
I mean, it's not like she was like porcelain fresh in the beginning. I mean, she was like a slave with TB. She's kind of, I'm assuming she's got scars already. And it's like, dude, you take her out into battle all the time. She's gonna get fucking scarred.
Doesn't the slave broker make some sort of crack about how she's not a virgin or
Ugh,
something?
I think you're right.
And but she insists that she is. Like I was like, what was that about?
Oh, I don't remember that part. I mean, I do remember kind of a crack on her virginity, but and the last thing I wrote is the dress that they make for Philo is boring.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It's like a nightgown with a bow.
Yeah, I don't know why they make such a big deal out of like costuming in anime because it never looks that great.
It's like, wow, she looks like an angel because she's got wings, and it's just like it's so fucking boring. You're not selling this to me. So yeah, that was the Shield hero and his two chicks.
Alvin has down in his notes. I can't believe it. Boring ass dress.
Well, I mean, I don't know how familiar you are with the art of note taking, but it
The
worked.
fact that that even stood out to you as
No, because
significant.
the tailor made such a big deal. She's like, "Oh, I gave her frills to match the wings," and I'm like, the blue go offsets the something yellow.
See, that's how you know that this was written by a woman.
I guess would have been dude would have had like titty window and just like
Like ass cut out.
Yeah. assless chaps. String. It would have been like who's that? Like that chick in Is It Wrong to Pick Up Bitches in a Dungeon?
Yeah.
Where she's just got like a piece of magic cloth that just kind of drapes under her arms and just like.
Or yeah, or like just like that, just one strip that goes across like the areolas of the
Oh, yeah.
boobs.
But I mean, even though this chick is kind of flat and underage, so that probably wouldn't work. But we can
Oh,
work
it's
something
Japan.
out.
Of course it would work.
Nah, I guess you're right. Anything else? I mean, I guess I'm happy. It's not a bad show.
You don't. Yeah, I could tell in your voice. You sound really happy.
I'm so psyched.
Like this entire time you were droning on about every
All the
plot
important
point.
parts on the roadmap that got
I
us
mean,
here.
like
You know what? This is me. I'm stopping the cart. I'm like, we're here. We're at the end of the journey.
I mean,
But we
like,
didn't get lost.
I was filled with drowsy excitement.
Well, there was nothing. This wasn't an exciting episode. It was it was competent, but it wasn't exciting.
Yeah, I mean, I don't feel like this episode progressed the story in any
What are you
way.
talking about?
It's
He's a merchant. He's got a couple new shield things. He made a dress for Philo. Yeah, it is kind of frustrating. Like the main story is kind of like put on the back burner for this slice of life stuff, but it's all important.
I guess I just I kind of wish the story would get more to the point. I mean, yes, we know he was wronged and he's bitter about it, but I would like to know more about the threat that's happening in this world. And I feel like 6 episodes in, we're no closer to understanding the nature of this threat and why it's so important that these heroes are there.
The threat is a MacGuffin. It's a red herring. Well, the
Well,
real
yeah,
thing
okay,
is
no kidding, it is, but
he's got to learn to trust again. Even though he didn't have a problem trusting before he came to this place. But he lost it. Now he's got to find it.
now he's got to re-find it.
I hope they don't make him leave after like he he cozies up to all these his harem and he clear. I assume he's gonna clear his name in the end. Maybe he won't.
He's
But
gonna
like,
go back to Japan and realize, why was I so mad?
he'll
Everything's gonna be okay.
yeah he'll have friends in his family. He'll be like, oh okay. But